All right, what's going on, guys? Connor Unchained. We're back today, and I want to bring you guys a new narrative in AI, in which I think is going to be absolutely huge. Just going forward from now, and it looks like this narrative is starting to take off a little bit right now. So I'm gonna dive into a bunch of stuff, and it relates to Bittensor or ticker Tau right here. So let's just jump into it. So we got Bittensor up here. So I don't think I've really ever talked about Bittensor on the channel before, mainly because again I focus specifically on micro caps and low caps in crypto, and obviously this is sitting at 4.5 billion, and months ago this was already at a couple billion. So in my opinion, I missed the boat on it, and I felt like I just missed it. So I really never brought this coin up, but the opportunity is going to lie within Bittensor's framework, or if you want to call it subnets. So I'm going to go into what Bittensor is just a little bit. Then I'm going to go into subnets and why and where the opportunity is with that. So Bittensor, if you guys have not heard of it, so you can kind of picture Bittensor like an entire state, all right? Like a state, say in the US, a random state, okay? And inside this state, you have a bunch of different cities. In each of these cities, in regards to, say, Bittensor here, in each of these cities focuses on one particular AI algorithm, as in, for example, one of these cities focuses on, text to image algorithms. And inside each of these cities, they are creating some sort of reward incentive for people to actually, build and attend, whatever you want to call it, join into these ecosystems. And these ecosystems slash cities are called subnets. So, Bittensor, I think specifically has, I want to say like 30 something subnets. And in regards to, like, let's say those cities here, we got data scraping is one of them, text prompting, like I was saying, machine translation. So all of these are different cities in this state. But again, these aren't specifically projects, which is something you have to understand. Think of all of these different subnets as, I just lost my train of thought. All of these different subnets, though, picture them as their own, just communities or little ecosystems in which projects can then use these subnets to then build on top of, because you can use subnet 5 if you're, say, building some sort of image generation AI crypto app, let's say, and you want to implement Bittensor's framework. You would use subnet 5, or you join the subnet 5 because this subnet focuses on, what your application is, targeting, basically. So just subnets themselves are not projects. They are basically just little ecosystems all underneath Bittensor's framework itself. And then projects could then choose to, participate and actually get rewarded for being a part of a subnet under Tau or Bittensor. So that's a little bit about Tau, and this is a Tau Community Hub. This is one page to follow. I don't even follow them actually, but they got a lot of good info talking about these different subnets here. But the reason why I want to bring this up today is because I really do believe that Bittensor projects or projects under Bittensor, as in projects that are going to be built using Bittensor framework, depending on whatever subnet that these AI projects are going to be part of, I think any sort of AI subnet projects will be massive. I think these are going to be the beta plays to Bittensor over the next few weeks, into the next few months as well. And that's mainly why I want to bring that up, because I feel like they just started to, I don't want to say take off, but there have been a couple projects that have, already claimed that they're using different subnets for this and that. And so when it comes to a subnet too, so they're basically community made. And from what I believe and what I know, anyone can actually go and apply to create their own subnet. But a subnet registration right now has shot up in price. I think it's multiple $1 million to actually create your own subnet. And like I said, that's same thing. If you look at it in one state, and then you have different cities, another city can be made if there's a different kind of AI algorithm or whatever you want to call it that needs to be built that isn't existing right now. So that's kind of from my own research what I've gotten out of Bittensor. I know it's not that deep, but in my opinion, it doesn't, from an investment standpoint, looking for projects, I don't really think it has to be that deep. Which I'm just telling you guys what I believe and what I'm seeing out of this right now. So I'm just going to talk about a couple, I guess, Bittensor projects that I've seen. We got one called so Taoshi right here. So this is dedicated to building on Bittensor, home of the price forecasting subnet, the world's largest incentivized mining pool for prediction of financial markets. So one of the things that you're going to notice is that if you start digging for some of these projects, you're going to have projects that have been building, underneath the framework of certain subnets. And that's these are the projects that you want to start looking at. These are the projects you want to start looking for when you're, I guess, digging for them. And obviously, I'm going to show you guys a couple today. Because at the same time, a lot of projects have been out for a little while, building in these subnets, whatever you want to call them. And at the same time, the reason why I want to bring it up too is because there have been a lot of projects launching just using the subnet word as a buzzword right now in the AI space. A lot of microcaps have recently just, been created. They're saying, oh, we're part of this Bittensor subnet, this and that. And a lot of it's going to be a buzzword. We've already seen it with a lot of AI GPU projects over the last few weeks. We had a bunch of really strong projects launch, but we've started to see, one or two AI GPU cloud projects launching almost every day, and eventually over time, like you could just tell that these are rugs. These are not safe projects. They're literally just cash grabs. In my opinion, just based off seeing that already too, I know that there's going to be projects that launch that claim this and that, becoming part of a subnet for Bittensor, when they have no plans of doing that. They're just using that as, again, like hype for a cash grab. So it's going to be very risky right now if you're looking at new projects. But I'm going to give you a couple here. And I'm going to show you guys just how to look for them too. But like I said, so Taoshi is one of them right now. So this one, decentralized financial market forecasting through the power of AI. This one's interesting. I don't think there's a token or anything out for this, nor do I believe there will be one. I'm not too sure. But this is under subnet 8. Taoshi here, this has been building for a little while. Like this is not something that launched yesterday, a week ago. They've been building since, I guess it looks like September is when they launched. But it's kind of interesting. There's not too much info on it. You can check it out on their website. Check it out here. We got Taoshi. Another one too that you guys may have or may not have seen is the ticker TAS. This one is actually out on the market right now. We check it on a deck screener. So this one's interesting too. And like I said, there's going to be a ton of these launching at least over the next couple weeks. So it's definitely going to be something to look for and also be very weary of too. So we got TAS. So the Tau accounting system. This is the chart too. What was I going to bring up with this too? Yeah, so this is another one too. This is, I guess they're trying to enable TRC20. And yeah, and I guess a lot of these projects as well. A lot of them, I guess that I don't know. Again, I don't know too much about, brand new launches when it comes to these. A lot of projects are launching when they're not actually, part of a subnet. But I think a lot of them too are aiming to, generate enough revenue to actually be able to buy and register for another subnet as well on Bittensor, which is kind of interesting. But again, it's this ecosystem is a little bit confusing. But again, from my research, what I've got out of it, I just want to bring this stuff up. So I'm gonna bring up a couple major coins right now that I know for a fact are part of different subnets of Tau, and I have a feeling that these are going to start running a little bit more, mainly because of that. So one of them that I know for a fact, that I know many of you have heard of, is Akash Network. Wow, are they not on Damn, are they not on a deck screen right now? Oh yeah, we can just pull it up here. What am I saying? So this one is AKT. Akash, I actually have not researched this one too heavily myself, but it has been out for a little while. Obviously went through a bull run already. So I guess, so it's on Osmosis. Alright, that's pretty interesting. But the world's premier decentralized compute marketplace. Open network that lets users buy and sell computing resources securely and efficiently. Purpose built for public utility. Okay, so it's kind of just like a big cloud infrastructure / marketplace. Okay. So like I said, I actually have not researched this one 100%, but I know on Twitter, there has been a lot of talk that they are aiming to be part of a subnet for Bittensor. We got Akash Network. This one is very big. It's sitting at 1.3 billion right now. This one's a bit interesting one, I think. The chart is obviously, it has been primed. It has been ripping like crazy. Another one we got is AIT. I've actually dropped a video on AIT months ago, or maybe a month ago. AIT is definitely a very interesting project. This is already at 92 million in market cap. That's crazy. But yeah, if you see the chart on AIT, this has been going crazy. I want to pull it up here. Yeah, I don't know. Every time I type too, my keyboard just goes wonky. But yeah, 92 million right now. Yeah, and when I talked about AIT, I think it was somewhere down here. I've talked about this coin multiple times at a bottom here, and it's just been ripping today. Yeah, literally earlier today was at $1, and it's continuing to fly like crazy. But AIT is another one, and I'm gonna give you guys a third here. And I've actually never talked about this one publicly on the channel, but I called this over a month, maybe a month and a half ago. I think in January or mid-January or something, but this is called Roko. So Roko Network is very interesting, but they're working hand in hand with Tau right now, or with Bittensor. They have a lot of different projects that Roko's working with. They're trying to build a huge infrastructure layer for AI robotics, and they're working with like a small company as well to actually create the infrastructure / framework to build out actual physical robots, which is it's really cool. I actually think this project's undervalued as fuck. I think it's dope, but very high risk at the moment. There's not too much info. You really got to dig pretty hard to find a lot of this information out. But like I said, sitting at 25 million right now. I wouldn't be surprised. This could do multiple things. Roko could start ripping again. It might pull back. It could go like this. But this chart's just very bullish too. It's been consolidating for a long time. But just wanted to bring up a few of these. And like I said, there's been a bunch of brand new ones. I'll bring up another microcap, or this was microcap maybe the other day. I don't know what the market cap is now. Okay, 7.6 million. So that absolutely ripped as well. So let me see here. So TauX, so this is another one that is related to, Tau subnets. So let's see. I'm gonna show you guys this real quick too. But outside of this, like that's mainly what I wanted to bring up. So yeah, so this one claims to be the gateway to Bittensor Subnet excellence. TauX aims to become a pioneering project supporting and developing subnets. So I guess that's pretty interesting. I don't know. Like to me it looks very not, that's personally something I would pass up on. I would not be investing in this. But again, I'm just here to show you guys this is not financial advice in any way. Especially with this one, I don't know much about it, nor do I plan on looking into this, but I did see this earlier. It's again, it's really interesting seeing this narrative play out. But that's really all I wanted to talk about today. And I'm kind of fumbling my words a little bit, but outside of that, just keep this in mind that there will be a lot of these launching over the next few days to few weeks, and just make sure you're part of Bittensor Discord if you want more info. If you want to learn a little bit more, they got the documentation as well, literally docs.bittensor.com. That goes over all of this stuff, but me, when I first read this, I'm not super technical with like all this crypto stuff. Again, I look at everything from an investment standpoint because that's crypto. That's why we're here. Is to make money off narratives, to make money off projects, and it was very confusing. I had to read this maybe 2 or 3 different times. I went into ChatGPT to understand it for a couple days. And like I said, I haven't gone any deeper than just telling you guys the basics of it. Because personally, I don't think you need to know too much more about it than just understanding like the very basics of it. So that's what I got for you guys today. Definitely check this stuff out. Look more into Bittensor because I feel like subnet projects will be a pretty hefty narrative coming up. I feel like a lot of different AI coins that are existing right now that have been out in the market are going to, try and I don't know if they want to jump on the bandwagon and work with Bittensor because their framework is going to be top tier. But again, we'll see from there. That's what I got for you guys today, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.